When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Wednesday glow, amore from Italy. Today is National Lasagna Day. And I, a lady who owned, I'm going to be humble. I did own a restaurant for a long time. And I'm going to do an Italian version that's healthy. Yeah, not all the gooey cheese stuff, but we are going to have some cheese. And we're making some lasagna. So, first step, a nice iron skillet. Yes, they're the best. They grill so beautifully. So we're going to start off by putting in some really fantastic extra virgin olive oil at the bottom of our pan. Boom. We're going to put this at medium high. So while that's warming up, I'm going to tell you our first basic ingredients that we have. So come on over, cameraman. We have some nicely chopped sweet onion. So I took a sweet onion and I took some fresh garlic that's already been peeled. I chopped it up, and that will be going in our iron skillet in just a minute or two. I have some fresh Italian herbs, which has to be oregano, red pepper chili flakes are in there, and of course a really good sea salt and pepper. Eventually, for our tomatoes, I got some amazing cherry tomatoes at Whole Foods and fresh basil. But what we're going to be starting off with, and believe it or not, this is already nice and warm because an iron skillet soaks in the heat right away. We also, for our hearty version, this looks like real nice lean ground beef. But what it is burger from plants. Yeah, it's made with yams, potatoes, and peas. The best of the best. I love the hearty version because you wouldn't know the difference. Here we go. We're going to add, whoops. So now we're adding our freshly chopped garlic and sweet onions, and you can hear the sizzle, so you know it's on medium. And that's going to be sizzling, and we're going to add our plant-based burger meat. And that too is going to sizzle. Now, how long are we going to grill this? Well, I'll be back in a few minutes because we're going to be doing this till the meat turns almost pink, which is about 5 to 8 minutes. So we'll see you in a bit. So now we have our meat that has been sizzling with our garlic and our onions almost to a complete brown, but we don't want it too brown because what we're going to do, I like to add a little special, unique little touches to my recipes, and so this is mine. I love Kalamata and Greek olives. You'll notice that I'm cutting them up. These are nicely done and prepared at Whole Foods. They come really nice and fresh, marinated in the best of the best vinegar. And I take a few of these and sprinkle them on top. This will literally provide the sodium and the nice saltiness that you might crave. So now that we've got that covered, I am going to put the lasagna noodles on. Oven ready lasagna noodles. You can get different brands. I like the Barilla. And we're going to put our lasagna noodles over the meat. There's no rhyme or reason. That's what's so fun about doing it in the skillet. And the to break them are going to go like this. So we cover the meat completely. Got our lasagna noodles. One more. I'm making this enough for about 3 people and a nice little green salad if you want, or you can just have it as a meal for 2. All right, so now we have our lasagna over this. We're going to take I had used the real tomatoes. This takes a while to boil and break down. You can cheat a little and get the organic crushed tomatoes. You'll need a can about this much, which is about 28 ounces. And this is like a small, 14-ounce package at Whole Foods. So I have now taken those, crushed them up. I'm going to put this over my lasagna noodles. Oh wow, this is going to be so nice and yummy. All right, now that that's done, here's my second special ingredient. A nice red cab. I love Darm's Lane. They're in the family, so that makes it even more special. Some people like just to use water or pasta water from what they've already used in the past and saved in the refrigerator. So I'm going to put a half cup over this. Now we'll top all this little hearty dish with some fresh basil, which I'm going to sprinkle on top. And we're going to cover this and let simmer for about 20 minutes. See you in a bit. So, as you know, I mentioned that it takes 20 minutes to simmer. We're halfway through that 20, which is 10. And what I'm going to do, and I suggest you do too, is that we actually stir up the lasagna and the meat. So we move it around a little bit. Now I have a really nice little spatula that's created just for this, but you could do it by using a spatula and a spoon like I'm doing both right now. We're going to move it around. And I know a lot of you are saying, what about the cheese? Don't worry, we're going to get to that. I would like to give you some tidbits about National Lasagna Day, how it got so infamous in our culture. Well, first of all, lasagna was one of the first noodles. We're going to cover this now for 10 minutes. One of the first noodles created, and it's one of the easiest to actually make by hand. The first lasagna recipe, 1400s, and guess where it was found? In an English book, England. Now, Italians say, you know I love the number 3. 3 things are necessary when you sit down to a bowl of pasta or a plate of pasta. 1, a good bottle of wine. We got that covered not only for our meal, but for our dish. 2nd, an amazingly flavorful pasta dish itself, which in our case is going to be a hearty version of the lasagna in an iron skillet, which is, by the way, how lasagna got its name. It was from the pot, not the noodle, that it was made in. And it was very similar to this iron skillet. And the 3rd thing, so we got wine, we've got a really good pasta, and 3, you have conversation with family. Bring it all together, and that's the Italian style. We'll see you in a few. So now our 20 minutes have passed. We're going to remove the lid. You can see it's bubbling. And what we're going to do is take a very gentle cut into the lasagna noodles. So we'll be cutting them up. It's going to make it easier to turn things around. So I'm gently cutting them. As you can see, I'm going to put this down to sim. It was on medium. And now we're adding a low-fat cottage cheese. Remember, this is a healthy version. I like the Good Culture brand. Not only is it low-fat, but it's made from pasteurized, pasture-raised cows. Sorry. I'm here now tossing the cottage cheese and mixing it in. all over. Slowly mixing it in. This would be in a traditional lasagna being layered. But since we're in a skillet, we're mixing it in. Notice our noodles are going to be kind of on the top here. Oh, this is going to be nice. All right. So now, what we do with this is we make our final topping with nice skim fat, low moisture mozzarella cheese. There we go. Sprinkle it on top. And again, we want to add a little bit of parsley on top and oregano and the red chili flakes that we've crushed up. And we're going to let that sit, no flame whatsoever, so we're going to totally turn that off. And we're going to let that sit for 10 minutes, and we'll come back with our lasagna ready to eat. One of the reasons I love this dish, not only is it hearty, is it good, but you can do it after exercising. I mean, when I'm in my pickleball outfit, the total time, beginning to end, with your little bit of prep work that I mentioned, 45 minutes. So, we are now at the final product. Our cheese has melted. You'll want to let this sit for about 5 minutes because your iron skillet is hot. Lift it up and you can serve it right to the dish from the table. Make a beautiful presentation. And I always like to have a stellar signature piece on an Italian dish. Mine for this one is fresh basil, so when I take it over to the table, it will have a nice little fresh basil on top. I want to leave you on National Lasagna Day with an Italian proverb. A tavola non si invicia. And what does that mean translated in Italian? We never age at the dinner table. Happy eating, don't age, don't forget. Yes, National Lasagna Day. Arrivederci.